watching Thrifty Kaniffy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we're going to be looking at a used knife. This is a buck from the 300 series. This is the Buck 319 Rancher, and it is a closed length of 3 7/8 inches. These were made, this version is the one of two versions that were made. All of them made by Camillus, but this is the earlier version, and it was made from 1970 to 1990. Then they had a later version made from 1990 to 1992. Now we can date this knife based on the awl blade having the spiral style to it. And this is a three-bladed cattleman style knife, again called the Rancher, 319 Rancher. And you got a clip point blade, spey blade, and then the awl blade. And we'll look closer at the blades after we get done running down the exterior here. But you get that wonderful hammer and knife style shield on there where they did the Buck tested their blades and they cut bolts and 10-penny nails, and they incorporated that into a logo, and that's what they're using on the shield there. So you can kind of see the knife, the nail, and the hammer. There's a good look at that. And they use saw cut on the Zytail, and you can see a little bit of it, but this is a pretty well worn knife, so it's gotten fairly smooth over the years, but just a black plastic basically. And then you get the diagonal cut bolsters. These are pinned at either end, so it's more proof that this is a Camillus made knife. Now again, Buck never made these. These were always made by Camillus, so you will not find any date codes on the blade at 86 where they started using them, because Camillus never dated any of the knives. But we'll look at the bottom here. We've got the carbon steel springs. You can see a lot of pitting there, and some brass liners there. The one on the bottom is double spaced. Very nice looking. And on the back, also pretty worn. That saw cut's just been diminished. You can see quite a bit of scratches. So this was a well-loved knife. Certainly not a pristine mint example by any means, but one that the pattern itself was one that I really appreciated and wanted to get a hold of ever since I did the little Buck presentation with Slippy and Thrifty, the Slippy and Thrifty show. And there's a look at your tang stamp. Just says Buck 319 USA, 3 lines. And you get that wonderful long pull on this clip point blade. And look at that beautiful swedging. Pretty scratched up blade. Again, not the most pristine example in the world. And I've not attempted to sharpen this at this point, but maybe in the future. There's a look at the back side. Again, you see the swedge just on the one side. Something that Camillus did. Again, pretty scratched up. But, a lot of the metal's still there. I don't think they did a whole lot of sharpening on the blade. So, as far as the blade is concerned, it's pretty complete. Just got some scratches on it. But no half stops or anything like that, but really strong pull on this main blade. I'd say that's about a 7.5, pretty much ideal. A really strong snap on the main blade. But that measures with the tang right at 3 inches. And then the cutting edge, you get about 2 5/8. So decent sized blade there, but still UK legal. Looks like they use brass pin here at the pivot, spring pivot, and the other pins are hidden in there, the construction of it. So just pinned at the bolsters. All right, so pretty interesting design for this 300 series, the way they made them. But Camillus Yeah, I was contracted by Buck to make these, and I've always liked Camillus knives, and so the combination of the Buck Camillus collaboration is kind of interesting to me, and one that I think helps me appreciate this knife a little more. Let's look at the secondary blades. We've got your spey blade. And again, that looks pretty complete. Not a whole lot of metal removed there. Still got a respectable grind on there. There's that side. Kind of a very subtle spey blade shape. You can get too carried away with the drop on the end there. But definitely a spey style blade. And you'll see no tank stamps or anything like that. Just plain on that particular tank stamp. Now, the thing is that this will not you can kind of get it to snap a little bit on the close, but a lot of times it won't. It just kind of sort of rubs, I think, on the main blade, but there is still snap left in the blade, even though it is used. Locks up pretty decently. I'd say the pull is about a 6. But if we take a measure of that spey blade, right at 2 inches to the top of the tang, and then got a cutting edge, again, about 1 5/8, maybe a little more, close to 1 3/4. You can still see the original blade grind on that. Vertical grind, pretty nice. And then I want to say that the two main blades, or the two blades I've shown you, were stainless. And then the final all blade was actually carbon steel. So you'll see a lot more corrosion on this blade. Now I've cleaned it up quite a bit, but you can see a lot of the patina even still left on the blade, the staining. And, some pitting on it as well. So that's why this blade, maybe looks a little worse for wear, because it was actually a carbon steel blade. But there you can see the spiraling, and that's what let us know that this is the first version that Camillus made. And, it's just an interesting looking awl blade. And just kind of take you around that so you can see the profile of the backside. And that's how you can kind of get your grip for the nail nick. It's just sort of ridged right there as it closes. And then in the closed position, you can see it has, a little bit of an access point there where it dips down. You can get your thumb in there and open that right up. I'd say that one's about a 5.5 pull. And, got some decent snap on the close still. But doesn't lock up particularly well, but a little bit there still. But overall, really decent quality knife. When you buy things on eBay, you never really get a good sense sometimes of how good it's going to be. But let's look at the internal area here and just see how much corrosion we've been able to deal with in there. I mean, it's not perfect, but I've cleaned it up a little bit. Give it a little ballistol. Polished it up a little bit. But, just a average style condition knife, I'd say. Not certainly not a trailer queen. One that you could definitely use. Not feel bad about it. So this will definitely see some time in the pocket. And I don't know what it is. I just really admired this particular pattern. They made so many in the 300 series. I know the first, kind of couple of waves totaled up to 11, and then they started adding even more after that. The original 11 are kind of the most, the ones I would most seek out, I guess. But this is a great example of a rancher, and one that I'm really going to enjoy using. But I just can't get enough of looking at this thing. It's just fantastic. Really, really attractive clip point blade on these Buck 300 series knives, especially these older ones. That long pull just is fantastic when the combination with that swedge, just really nice. But there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. So older Buck 319 Rancher. that's going to do it for my review. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you next time. Take care.